Hey there, welcome to Crochet Mode. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet a halter top. This video is beginner friendly, so if you're a complete beginner to crochet, don't worry, I'll be taking you through everything step by step, and you'll also learn a few different stitches along the way. For today's project, I'll be using a lightweight acrylic yarn and a 3.5mm crochet hook. You can use any similar yarn and hook size you're comfortable with. To begin, we're going to make a slip knot. This is how I make mine. After making a slip knot, you're going to chain a chain that is long enough to go from one side of your rib cage to the other. This chain will form the base of our halter top, and so make sure it's not too tight. Once you're happy with the length, we'll move on to the next row, where I'll show you the stitch we'll be using for most of the top, so take your time. When I crochet something, I usually use my body as reference while using a certain number of chains or rows. That's what makes sure that the crochet clothes I make always fit me perfectly. I went ahead and finished my chain, and if you're curious, I'm a size medium, so I made 100 chains. So if you're a size small or large, or you don't know your size yet, you can just chain a chain that fits your waist perfectly. We are going to go back in that chain with half double crochets. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook inside the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops. That's how we make a half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook inside the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops on your hook. So this is what a half double crochet looks like. This stitch is good for those who want a tight top, and it's not see-through, so it's comfortable to wear even during the day. From here, we're going to make half double crochets till the end of the chain, and when you're done, I'll show you what to do next. So I've now reached the end of the row, and this is what it looks like so far. I'm going to make sure that I go through every last stage of the row. So this is me finishing up all the stitches. Then after that, I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to turn my work to make the second row. So we're going to go in the very first stitch of the new row, then make a half double crochet, and continue on to make my second row of half double crochets on top of the first row of half double crochets that I made. The most important thing is to make sure all your edges are straight by making sure you go through the last stitch of the row, then chain 1 and go through the very first of the row. A lot of people don't actually follow that, and it makes their edges end up curving inwards, and we don't want that right now. So I'm going to make 6 rows of half double crochets. Then after we're done, I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. So let's complete this row. I'm going to show you how I'm going to end the row. So meet me in the last stitch of the row. Here we are. I'm going to make another half double crochet in the very last stitch of the row. Then this is how the 2 rows are looking like, and then we're going to chain 1, and after chaining 1 you're going to turn your work like this. Then we're going to make a half double crochet in the very first stitch of your row. So this is the pattern we're going to be following until you make your 6 rows. This is our 3rd row of half double crochet. So continue like this with the same pattern until you are in the 6th row of half double crochets. Then after that, I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. So follow this pattern and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So I've just finished my 6 rows of half double crochets, and this is what the project looks like. So we're going to change things a little bit. This is what we're going to be doing. You're going to still chain 1 and flip the project over, then make a half double crochet into the very first stitch of the new row. Then we're going to skip the second stitch. We're going to skip this second stitch to make a half double crochet into the 3rd stitch, and then continue with the row like nothing happened. So what's that going to do? It's going to start decreasing the total number of stitches per row, and that's how we are going to start making the triangular part of the top. So meet me in the last row and I'll show you what to do next. So we're in the last stitch of the row. I'm going to make a half double crochet in the very last stitch of the row. Then I'm going to chain 1 and flip my work, and I'm going to make a half double crochet in the very first stitch of the row. Then we're going to follow the same pattern we did. We're going to skip the second row and go through the 3rd row. Skip this one and go through the 3rd row, 3rd stitch of the row, and then you're going to make a half double crochet, and then we're going to continue with the same half double crochets till you finish this row. And you can see, you may not see it very clearly right now, but it's going to pull the top the stitches of the top inwards to make the triangular shape of the top. So we're going to continue with the half double crochets, and that's the pattern we're going to follow. I'm in the last part again. We're going to follow the same pattern. Make sure you always make half double crochet in the very last stitch of the row. Then after that, you're going to chain one and make a half double crochet in the very first stitch of the row. The same pattern, you're going to skip the second stitch and go to the third stitch and make half double crochets. So that's the easy pattern you're going to be following. So I'll show you how it's going to be looking like once we are done. If you continue following that pattern, you're going to get to this point when you can actually start seeing the project going inwards and it's turning into a triangular shape instead of a rectangular shape, which is what we actually want for our halter top. So continue making more rows, ensuring that you make a decrease, and this is what you're going to get after that. So I continued until I was satisfied with the neckline, and that's how I knew that it was time for me to stop. When I put the project on my body, I'm happy with how it fits. So the next thing we're going to do is to make our straps. This is how the outfit will be looking like, and when we put our straps, it's going to look like a corset, and I'm going to show you how to make them, and they're very easy to make. We'll make our strap by chaining 150 chains plus. That's what works for me. Remember, we are different sizes and heights, so you can crochet less or more chains than me, but for me I'm making 150 chains. So after making 150 chains, I'm going to go back on the chains with a slip knot. This is how I'm going to make a slip knot. Insert your hook inside the stitch, pull up a loop and pull through the loop. Insert your hook inside the stitch, yarn over, pull through and pull through again. That's how I'm going to be making my slip stitches, and I'm going to make the slip stitch until I'm done with the chain. So go back at the chain with the slip knots to make the top comfortable when you wear the top, and tie the straps behind your back and your neck. So I'm done with the first strap. So after that, I'm going to finish and I'm going to make slip knots. I'm going to make slip knots on the neckline. Slip knots here. Then I'm going to chain 150 chains again and go back at it with slip knots so that I can make the second strap of our top. So let's make slip stitches on the neckline, and after that just chain 150 chains, or the chain that you're comfortable with that fits your body, and that's how you'll have completed your top. Now I'm done with the neckline, and this is the part where I'm going to start chaining 150 chains, then go back at the chain with slip stitches. This is what my top is looking like so far. I am done with the top, And now I'm going to show you how to tie the straps. Just follow this procedure. You're going to make sure that the straps are exactly in the same space so that it can look even when you tie it. And once you're done, you're going to cut off the scrap yarns to make the top look neat. This is our top. We are done. And now I'm going to show you how it looks on my body. This is how the top looks like. And if you liked or enjoyed this tutorial, please like, subscribe, and share for more tutorials. Bye.